So good day everyone. I am Berenice Limbago. So for today we are going to talk about the Nicomachean ethics and modern concepts, the Aristotle's idea of the good life. But before we start, I have a question. So if you had everything, the power, money, success, but no virtue, would you still call your life truly happy? So for me is no, because happiness is not only about the money, power, or success. Without virtue, life feels empty and unbalanced. So virtue gives meaning and guides us to live rightly. True happiness comes from being good and kind, not just from wealth or fame. A life without virtue cannot be called truly happy. Aristotle, an important ancient Greek philosopher whose work spans from natural philosophy to logic and political theory, attempted to explain what the good is. In Nicomachean Ethics 2:2, Aristotle says that everything people do has a purpose, and that purpose is always aimed at some or something good. So, whether it's studying, working, or creating art, all actions are done because we believe they will lead to something good for us. So, the good is what gives direction and meaning to our choices in life. So, like for example, a student studies hard not just to pass the exams, but because learning will help them have a better future. So, the studying is the action, and the good is the knowledge and success it brings. So, yeah, that's the Nicomachean Ethics 2 too. So everything we do is directed towards something good, but the good life is more than just small good actions. Studying, practicing sports, or resting are all good, but real happiness comes when we live our whole life in a good way. So the good life is not only about doing separate good things, but about living with purpose, values, and balance that lead to true happiness. So, like for example, a student may study hard, play sports, and take care of themselves. So, these are good actions, but the good life is when they also grow as a kind, responsible, and happy person who lives well with others. So, in Nicomachean Ethics 1:4, Aristotle says that most people, whether ordinary or educated, agree that the goal of life is happiness. Di ba mo agree sad mo nga ang the goal of life is happiness. So, they believe that to live well and to do good actions is the same as being truly happy. In other words, happiness is not just a feeling, but it comes from living a good and meaningful life. So the ancient Greeks called this concept of living well and doing well as eudaimonia. The word came from the Greek word eo, meaning good, and daimon, meaning spirit. So taken together, it generally refers to the good life which is marked by happiness and excellence. So the Greeks used the word eudaimonia to describe the idea of a good life. So it means more than just feeling happy. It's about living with goodness, purpose, and excellence. So when a person lives well, makes good choices, and develops their best qualities, that is what the Greeks considered true happiness or the good life. Like for example, if you are a student, uh, you live well by studying seriously, learning as much as you can, and doing your responsibilities in school. This way, you become the best version of of yourself. So, according to Aristotle, happiness is the final goal of everything we do. We don't We don't seek happiness to get something else. It is the very reason why we act. So the money, the power, peace, or success are not the real end goals. We want them because we believe they will make us happy. So in the end, all human actions are done to reach happiness itself. In Nicomachean Ethics 2:7, Aristotle says that happiness is the highest goal in life. We do not seek happiness because it leads to something else. We seek it for itself. So, other things like honor, pleasure, wisdom, or virtue are good, but we value them because they help us become happy. So, happiness stands about them all because it is the final goal that everyone wants for its own sake. So, like for example, again, so a students studies hard to gain knowledge. So knowledge is good, but the reason they want is because um, it leads to success and a better life. So the better life brings happiness, which is the real goal. So happiness is not for something else. It is the very thing everyone is searching for. Happiness is what makes life truly good, but it is not just about enjoying pleasures like food, fun, or comfort. Real happiness comes from living with virtue, being good, responsible, and excellent in what we do. It means using our talents and values to live well, help others, and make the world better. So, this kind of happiness lasts longer and gives deeper meaning to life. So, the conclusion of my topic. So, Aristotle teaches that all human actions aim at something good, and the greatest good is happiness. So, this happiness is not just about pleasures or success, but about living well with virtue, purpose, and excellence. So the Greeks called this eudaimonia or the good life, where a person grows into the best version of themselves. So we choose things like knowledge, honor, or success because they lead to happiness. But happiness itself is chosen for its own sake. So in the end, a truly good life is a life of virtue, balance, and meaningful actions that bring lasting happiness. So that's all for my topic. So thank you for watching.